In the previous videos, we walked through the PIT preparation guidelines and how we can use the COC APR report to help find errors in our records. In this module, I will review the proper workflow to enter and exit clients on ShelterPoint to ensure that those corrections are kept to a minimum. Entering a single client into your shelter can be done in three different ways. First, you can enter them into a specific bed directly on your unit list. With single clients, you can also use the Express Check-in option, which assigns the client to the first available unit. Finally, once they are checked in, you can change their assignment in their unit entry data using the Assign Unit button. Let's start by navigating to ShelterPoint from the main dashboard, which will be found on the menu navigation on the left. The first thing we need to do is to select our provider, which will be the All Chicago Emergency Shelter. Next, select the unit list, which allows the dashboard to appear. Here, you can see the first two options to enter a client. Check a client in, which assigns them to a specific bed, and Express Check-in, which assigns them to the first available bed. I will be manually checking in our single client through the first option. Here, you'll see your unit list with the beds that are available, with these columns describing exactly which bed it is in your facility. There are two ways you can enter clients in this view. First, this first green plus button, or this blue empty link button under the client column. I will be entering a client through the green plus button. Now, we can search for a client, which will then open up their unit entry data. In this view, it is important that we make sure all the pre-filled fields are correct. The date, are they on the premises, curfew stipulations, and the unit they were assigned to. Next to this field is where you can also change that assignment with the Assign Unit button. After we have made sure everything is correct, we can now save and exit this profile. We are then led back to our unit list where we can now see our client checked into bed 1. Once a single client has left your unit, it's time to check them out. The checkout process is fairly simple. Here, you can see the client we just entered into our shelter. On the left, there is a red circle that we can click to check out a client. This will bring us to their unit exit data, where we only need to make sure the pre-filled items are correct. We can then hit Save and Exit, which navigates us back to the unit list where we can see that the bed is now vacant. Entering families into your shelter is a similar process. The main differences are that you cannot use Express Check-in with households, so we must manually assign them. And more importantly, we need to make sure that the household is entered together, starting with checking in the head of household first. This ensures that all members of the household will have the same group ID and will then count as one household. So let's go back to our unit list and check in a household together. We've already set up our provider and our unit list. And remember that we cannot use Express Check-in with households, so we will start in this view. This time, I will be checking in our head of household through the blue empty link under the client column. Now I need to search for my head of household because we have to check them in first. Again, we should double check our unit entry data for accuracy. Then we can scroll down to the Household Numbers tab where we can see the households our client is a part of. We're looking for the household with her partner and child, and as you can see, our head of household is already checked in. We can now include other members by checking each of the boxes next to them and assigning them a unit. Notice that bed 1 isn't available anymore because our head of household is already occupying it. Once we've assigned the members of the household a unit, we can save and exit. Back in our unit list, not only can we see our family occupying the bed we've assigned them, but we can also see that all their group IDs are the same. Exiting a family is similar to checking a single client out. Here, on our unit list, we can see our client's family that we just checked in. So we can check them out by clicking the red circle next to one of the household members. This will again bring us to the unit exit data, where we can check for data accuracy. Then we can scroll down to the Household Members tab and click the box next to the household to include everyone in the checkout. Save and exit. Now we can see that our unit is vacant again.